how is everybody doing? It's a Saturday morning. It's actually 11 a.m. right now. Almost doesn't feel like morning anymore. I figured because it's a pretty slow day today, I don't have to necessarily work, but I do have a few projects that I am working on, and I have time to do that today. So I thought I would bring you guys with me. I've never really done this before, so I feel a little, feel a little timid, a little shy. So like I said, I have a few projects that I'm working on. I have some deliverables that I have to send off to a client on a project that we're wrapping up. And then I have some orders on my online shop. I guess that's what it's called. So a lot of you probably don't know, but I have an online shop where I sell a bunch of emojis, like animated emojis specifically. And it's a project that I started at the beginning of the year, and I've been working on it on and off. I have had a few orders, so it seems to be working. I'm still trying to figure out how people, how they find my website and where do they come from. But it's like a side business, passive income thing. I do a lot of animations for websites or for apps or for games. For the past few years, I've been getting a lot of people reaching out by email or messaging and asking for icons, asking for emojis, asking for reactions because they like to bring them in their app. And the problem is that a lot of them are startups or very small companies, or some of them are maybe even just one or two developers, or like one developer, one designer, and they don't have a huge budget. And it's hard for me, obviously, to work on an animation and only get paid a couple of bucks, so it's not worth my time. But I feel bad turning down these people because a lot of them are working on really exciting and really innovative apps. Yeah, I felt like it was a little unfair that a lot of the big tech companies in Silicon Valley get to have all of these emojis and animations, and everybody else, can't use them. So I built a website, made it into an online store, uploaded about 9 emojis, animated emojis I think that I have now there. And I've been getting a few orders, and I've also been getting requests for different expressions. So I'll show you what I have now. Okay, so basically this is the current website. So I built this very basic online store thing, and I put up these emoji animations, and if you go ahead and click on them, you get to see the emoji more in depth, a bunch of examples of what you can do with it, how they compare to other emojis, and basically you can add them to your cart. I went with this kind of 3D-ish style. I don't know if you guys can see, but the cool thing with Lottie and SVG files is that you can change the colors. So if you were to take this emoji and drop it into a Lottie color editor, then you can actually change it to this design or even this flat design. You don't have to stick to just these colors. So these are fully customizable because they are built in code. So I have a developer from a startup team waiting to buy 2 of them, but they've also put an order in for 2 more. So they need an angry, mad emoji reaction and a care one. The care emoji is something that Facebook released, I don't know how long ago, but it was just as mid-COVID or beginning of COVID, as a way to, I guess, tell people that you care. I guess it's a different way to send love. Instead of sending a heart to people or reacting on a post, it's a way, I guess, to send a hug and to get people to get closer together. So what I'm gonna do today is I have the angry emoji pretty much animated, and the care emoji, I have nothing. I have to start from scratch. So I wanna see if I can get this done either today or by tomorrow. Yeah, so that's what you guys are gonna see me do. Okay, so now you should probably hear me better. I figured because I'm so far from the camera, might as well, up the sound quality. This is the angry little guy that we have. So what I'm looking for is to see, is this emoji usable in many use cases? Would it make sense in an app? Does it capture the reaction of a user in an app who wants to share this with someone? And you know, if overall, do I like it? I guess. So there are a couple of things that I'm noticing. First thing, oopsie, is as you can see, the emoji starts a little more orange and it gets redder as it, you know, frowns more, and then it becomes orange again so that it can loop. But the eyebrows stay red throughout. So I'm going to see if I can change the color of the eyebrows so that they change with the head, because I think it makes a lot more sense that the eyebrows are quite red when the face is red, but not as much here. It's kind of like the emoji dyed its eyebrows and went a little too far. The other thing, if you look at the eyes as it's blinking, I feel like when it's blinking, it's a little too late. So there's a bit of a delay. So let's start with those two. Also, quick note, I'm probably not going to comment in detail as I go because it tends to slow me down a little. I don't know how some people do it. I just can't talk and focus at the same time. It's always hard to tell when an animation is finished or if it needs more work. Yeah, leave me a comment or a feedback or something. I'd love to know what you guys think and if there's anything you would change or improve. Okay, so while I wait for your feedback, I am going to go ahead and show you how I export them. So what I realized recently, and I should have realized this sooner, is that some of the expressions and rigging in these emoji faces are not showing up in iOS or Android. Basically, I'm using joystick and sliders to have a rig set up just to make it easier to have the character looking up and down and shaking its head and stuff. So that means that if you go inside, for example, this eye layer and go down to, oops, actually not in here, go down to the position, in scale, you'll see these are flashing red. That's because there's an expression there. There's a joystick expression, and that will not show up it doesn't work on iOS and Android. All of this code basically is not compatible. And I'll show you if I were to export this guy. So let me grab angry. And even if I were to toggle on hidden and guides, if I render that And if I head on to the lottiefiles.com website and then grab that file and drop it here, it's showing, right? It's showing on the web, but oh, I can't use my phone because I'm using my phone to record. I'm probably going to insert a screen recording of my phone here. So what you got to do to fix this thing is you got to bake them. You got to bake your expressions. I tried going and using the bake feature in Body Move In. If you go down, I think to expression settings, right? I think somewhere in here. Which one is it? I think it's this one, convert expressions to keyframes. That is supposed to bake your expressions, but it's not working for me. I recommend using this plugin, Easy Bake. I'll link it in the description bar of the video if you're interested. So what I do is grab this plugin called Easy Bake, just select your composition and go ahead and click bake. Ta-da! It worked on one composition, a total of 16 layers and a total of 19 expressions. And now, then I go to the settings. I still have hidden and guides open in there. I'm gonna re-render that once again. And now, if I drag and drop it in here, and I preview this on my mobile device, insert the beautiful image here on the screen, it should be working. Okay, I'm noticing there's a little bit of that eye popping out here. Don't like that. See, you can see here, it's popping out. No, it should not do that. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. Now the cool thing with Easy Bake is that if you actually selected Keep Unbaked Data, or were to click Unbake, it should unbake everything. Did it work? Yeah, there you go. It's unbaked everything, so I can go back, have all of my expressions here, and fix that eyebrow thingy majig that's going on. What is going on? Eyebrow. And I am going to, verify, bring my guides here, and verify that these are leveled, and they are. Good. Because I kind of want to keep that symmetry thing going on. So now if I run frame by frame, I just hit Command right arrow or left arrow, I can see if that eye is popping out from that brow. Cool. And it's not. Okay, now I realized there's a bug. If you look at my Lottie animation, when the emoji is looking down, its eyes are open. And when it's but in my After Effects file, it should be the eyelids should basically be closed, and this has happened to me with baking before. I don't know why Easy Bake has difficulty with baking sliders, like joysticks and sliders. This section, that's what it is here. So what I gotta do is I'm just gonna create one layer with the eyes open, one layer with the eyes closed, and I'll just toggle the transparency on that. It's a little more work, it's a little more annoying, but you know what? I don't know how else to fix it. So if anyone else knows a fix of how to bake sliders, or if you've had any issues with baking sliders before and you found a fix, please let me know. Please let me know. Thank you for helping.